Men seek to be understood. Power seeks to be misunderstood. To reveal all is to lose all. The abyss must remain the abyss. Friedrich Nietzsche. The most common mistake of modern men is confusing desire with weakness. They run after women like one runs after their own shadow, believing that insistence is synonymous with love, when in truth it is merely desperation in disguise. Machiavelli already said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both." And that is the essence of the art of attraction. Power is not born of effort, but of scarcity. A woman does not fall in love with the one who begs, but with the one she cannot decipher. The mystery is the fuel of obsession. Since ancient times, the man who knew how to contain his impulses was the one who governed others. He who mastered his mind mastered the world. In the game between the sexes, this has not changed. A woman tests a man to measure his worth, and each time he bends, she measures him smaller. That is how the enchantment breaks. When she feels she has power over you, she loses desire, because female desire is born of challenge, not security. What she loves is not the man who desires her, but the man who makes her doubt if she is truly desired. It is for this reason that silence and distance are lethal weapons. The man who knows how to stay silent causes more impact than the one who tries to explain himself. When she misses your presence, you have already won. It is in that void that she begins to imagine. Create stories, fantasize. Her mind becomes your prisoner. Machiavelli would call this psychological dominion, the power to control without touching, to command without ordering. While she tries to understand what you think, you are already a step ahead. The mistake lies in acting like a subject when one should act like a king. The man who chases a woman loses the throne and passes to serve. And every woman, even the sweetest, despises the servant. She wants what is difficult, what seems unreachable, what makes her feel that she needs to prove her worth. When you demonstrate neediness, she feels repulsion. When you demonstrate control, she feels attraction. It is instinctive, it is ancestral, it is psychological. The female has always been attracted to the male who does not bow, because he represents power, security, and mystery, the three pillars of emotional domination. For this reason, never run after a woman. Observe her, understand her games, but never participate in them. When she realizes that you do not react to her provocations, something inside her will invert. The power changes hands. She begins to doubt her own beauty, her own worth, her own influence over you. And it is there that the game begins for real. The woman who thinks herself invincible becomes obsessed by the man who is not impressed with her. It is like fire trying to consume something that does not catch flame. A man who understands Machiavelli understands that love and war are the same thing.
Both require strategy, patience, and coldness. The battlefield is not the body, it is the mind. The true seducer does not conquer with words, but with absence. He dominates because he does not need. He attracts because he does not pursue. When the woman realizes that everyone desires her except him, her ego enters into collapse, and it is from this collapse that obsession is born. She wants to prove to herself that she can conquer him, and in that attempt becomes a prisoner of the game that he controls. Being desired is easy. Being necessary is the true power. For this reason, the man who wants to win in the art of seduction must learn to refuse. Refuse attention, refuse haste, refuse emotion. When you refuse what everyone offers, you become unique, and what is unique becomes valuable. She will approach, will test, will provoke, and you will remain impassive, like a fortress. This is not coldness, it is dominion. Dominion over yourself and, therefore, over her. Machiavelli would understand this well. The human heart is a weak currency, and whoever hands it over without resistance loses the power of negotiation. The woman needs to feel that your attention is a prize, not charity. And when she realizes that she needs to conquer you, she will begin to run after not you, but the sensation of power that she lost. The man who runs after a woman becomes predictable. The one who makes her run becomes unforgettable. The woman needs to feel that the man is a territory to be conquered. When she realizes that you are a prize, not a beggar, everything changes. The value of something is measured by the difficulty in obtaining it, and the female mind is built on this logic.
Machiavelli would say that power is sustained by perception, not by reality. You do not need to be unattainable, only appear so. A man who understands this dominates the field of seduction, like a general dominates the battlefield. He knows when to advance and when to retreat, knows when silence speaks more than any speech. The weak try to convince, the strong make feel. And it is this that destroys the woman inside, the feeling of not being able to dominate you. When she realizes that she has no control over your emotions, the game turns, because the true power is not that of causing desire, but that of not needing to satisfy it. Absence becomes your weapon and control your crown. When you do not look for her, she begins to look for reasons. Did he lose interest? Is there another? These questions are the beginning of her fall. All power is born of imbalance. If she feels that she has you completely, the balance breaks and the desire dies. But if you maintain the mystery, the game remains alive. It is for this reason that the man who is absent at the right moment causes more impact than the one who tries to prove his love. The secret is simple. Never demonstrate neediness. The woman can forgive coldness,
but will never forgive weakness. And each gesture of desperation is a silent confession of weakness. Emotional Machiavellianism is this: understanding that the human heart responds more to the fear of losing than the hope of gaining. She needs to feel that she can lose you at any instant, and this fear is what keeps her captive. You do not need to threaten nor manipulate. It is enough to show with your behavior that you are free, that you can go away at any moment. This destabilizes her because the control that she believes she had escapes through her fingers, and what escapes, desire tries to grab. Observe the men that they loved the most. Almost always, they are those who did not place them on any pedestal. Men who followed their lives, who did not beg, who did not explain. Men who in silence became enigmas. Fascination is born of doubt, and doubt is born of absence. Machiavelli affirmed that the prince must be loved with respect and feared with admiration. In seduction, it is the same. The man must be desired with fascination and respected with fear of losing him. The secret is to create a distorted mirror where she sees what she desires but never reaches it completely. A glimpse, an uncertainty, a gesture that confuses her. All this is part of the architecture of power. The woman wants control, but desires to be controlled by someone who seems uncontrollable. It is the paradox that feeds female love. She wants to surrender, but there is only one man who does not need her. When you become that man, the game ends and you win. It is not about coldness, but about direction. The man who knows what he wants, who has purpose, has no time for flattery. He is busy building empires, not pursuing illusions. And it is precisely this energy that women feel and admire, because the man who runs after demonstrates that he has nothing else to do. The one who follows his path shows that he has value. The first begs for attention. The second is followed naturally. And when she tries to test you, and she will, keep yourself firm. The female tests are not attacks. They are measurements. She wants to know if you are for real, if you have a backbone, if you can withstand your own silence. If you weaken, you confirm her fear that you are like all the others. But if you remain unshakable, something breaks inside her. She feels respect, and respect is the first step to desire. Machiavelli would say, men must be treated with generosity or destroyed. For if merely offended, they can take revenge. Woman is the same. Either you treat her with greatness, being a complete man, self-sufficient, strong, or you do not treat her in any way. Never try to please who tests you. Never try to convince who doubts you. Just live in a way that time proves what your words do not need to say. And it is there that the game changes, when you stop seeking love and begin to inspire admiration. The admired man is the one who dominates female desire. She wants him, but fears not being at his height. She dreams of him, but feels that she needs to conquer him. The love that is born of the fear of losing is the strongest and the most dangerous. And it is exactly this that Machiavelli would teach to cultivate if he lived today. Absence is the poison and the remedy of attraction. When used with wisdom, it creates desire. When ignored, kills any emotion. A man who understands the value of disappearing at the right moment is like a strategist who abandons the field only to make the enemy advance and fall into the trap. Silence is not weakness. It is a scream that the female mind listens to louder than any word.
The economy of affection is what differentiates the king from the subject. The secret lies in not rushing. The man who has haste demonstrates fear, and fear is the smell of blood on the battlefield. Women feel it. When they realize that you are willing to do anything to have them, they lose respect. Female love is not conquered by insistence, but by selective presence. Show yourself little, but with strength. Speak little, but with purpose. Each gesture of yours must be worth 10 gestures of others. It is this that creates the aura that she cannot decipher. It is not about ignoring her completely. This is amateurism. It is about dominating the rhythm, advancing when she thinks that you will retreat, retreating when she expects that you advance. This dance between the yes and the no, the near and the far, the cold and the hot, is what builds the tension. And tension is the heart of desire. Without it, everything dies. With it, everything boils. You do not need to be the most handsome, nor the richest. You need only to dominate time. The man who controls time controls the game. It is in this game that the true Machiavellianism manifests. The woman who today ignores you can, in a matter of days, become the one who implores for your presence, if you understand the psychology behind scarcity. The less she sees you, the more she imagines you. The less she knows, the more she creates. The void is a mirror where she projects everything that she desires, and when she realizes, she will be in love, not for who you are, but for the mystery that you represent. The mystery is the drug most addictive that exists. The error of men is explaining themselves too much. Justify, plead, show vulnerability to whom still has not even deserved to see their scars. The true man does not need to explain himself, because his posture already speaks for him. The woman observes the silence and creates meaning. She interprets what you did not say and, upon trying to decipher, gets involved. The power is in leaving space so that her mind works in your favor. The more she thinks of you, the more she desires you. For this reason, it is not coldness, it is calculation. Machiavelli affirmed that the prince must be a fox to know the traps, and a lion to scare the wolves. Be the same intelligent to perceive the plays, strong not to fall into them. When she tests your patience, do not react. When she tries to provoke jealousies, smile with calm. Self-control is what most attracts, because it reveals that you dominate something that she cannot, her own emotions. The man who dominates himself is inevitably the one who dominates others, and it is at this point that the game inverts. When she realizes that nothing of what she does shakes you, she begins to doubt her own influence. And when a woman doubts her own power, she begins to run after who made her feel. This is a natural reaction. Female desire does not support indifference. It needs to be fed by doubt, by attention, by uncertainty. And the more you let her imagine, the more she traps herself. She can even try to feign disinterest, but the look attracts. The woman can hide what she feels from others, but never from herself. Her heart beats different when you enter in the same place, even if she does not say anything. And this is the true triumph. Make her feel without needing to act. The man who understands this understands what Machiavelli called the art of governing by perception. You do not need to be king. It is enough to make with that she sees you as one. The moment arrives in which the game inverts. The woman, who before was the center of attentions, begins to feel the void that the absence left. She, who before ignored your messages, now observes the cell phone waiting that you say something. And when you do not say, the silence transforms into a mirror. In her is born the doubt, the regret, and, finally, the fear. The fear is the emotion most powerful that exists. Machiavelli knew of this. He said that the ruler who controls fear controls the people. The man who controls the fear of the woman of losing you controls her heart. She begins to remember the small gestures, the looks, the conversations. Each moment gains an exaggerated value because the absence amplifies the past. What before was common now seems special. And while she revives memories, you advance in silence, as who does not need to prove anything. This is the difference between the man who pleads and the one who reigns. The first acts to be accepted, the second waits to be called, and when he has already won. The women run after not of who loves them, but of who intrigues them. The mystery is the poison most sweet. She wants to understand what there is behind your control, of your look that does not surrender itself, of your calm that seems impenetrable. She tries to decipher, and upon trying, she traps herself, because the human brain does not support questions without answers, and you become a living question. The more she tries to understand, the more she thinks of you. The more she thinks, the more she desires. The man who understands this does not need to compete. He does not need to prove value, because value is in scarcity. It is the absence that creates the price, and it is the price that creates the respect. When she feels that she cannot have you at any moment, she begins to adjust herself to deserve you. She changes the tone, changes the look, changes the posture, everything to try to recover the balance that she lost. And it is at this point
that the power changes side. But careful, power without purpose is destruction. Machiavellianism is not cruelty, it is strategy. You should not use dominion to hurt, but to conduct. The woman must run after you, not for humiliation, but for fascination. It is the difference between the tyrant and the king. The tyrant demands, the king inspires. When you understand that emotional dominion is an art, you begin to act with purpose. The objective is not to crush the other, it is to be so whole that the other wants to follow you. She will try to test you again, will provoke you, disappear, play charm. But all this now does not pass of reflection, attempts to recover the lost throne. And you, firm, observe with a discreet smile. The power is in not reacting. The man who reacts hands over the control. The one who observes maintains it. This serenity is what drives her crazy, because the feminine is emotion in movement. The masculine is presence in silence. When the silence conquers the emotion, the desire transforms into surrender. It is at this point that the man must show nobility. The true dominion is not that of manipulation, it is that of balance. When you know that you could, but choose not to use, you reach the apex of power. It is self-control elevated to art. Machiavelli said that the wise prince must do evil only when necessary. Translating to the field of attraction, use the game only until she learns the value of your presence. Afterwards, reward with dignity. Thus, she will respect you forever. When she begins to seek you, respond with calm. Let that each word of yours seems thought, each gesture of yours seems natural. Do not return the same haste that she now demonstrates. The haste destroys the enchantment. The man must be like time, inevitable, but never hurried. She needs to feel that reconquering you is a process, not a chance. This maintains the power alive and the respect intact. And the most important, do not lose the focus. The purpose of not running after a woman is to prove to yourself that you do not need approval. It is to free yourself from the necessity of being chosen, because the man who does not need to be chosen becomes that which all want to choose. This is the secret of the great leaders, of the conquerors, and of the legendary lovers. They did not implore love, they inspired devotion. Machiavelli would understand this game as he would understand a kingdom. The power is not given, it is taken, and once taken, it is maintained by perception. Show yourself calm, integer, and difficult. Show that your energy is rare, and that being at your side is a privilege. When the woman understands this, she will run after not only of you, but of the version of her that manages to accompany you. And this is the type of victory that lasts, the one that transforms the other without you needing to move a word. In the end, everything sums itself to control, not over her, but over yourself. The man who dominates his own mind dominates any relation. When you do not shake yourself with the silence, with the disappearance, with the rejection, you become invincible. Nothing can be taken from who does not need anything. This is the state most feared and, at the same time, the most desired. Because the true power is that of calm. The woman feels this, feels when you do not depend on her, and it is exactly for this that she begins to depend on you. When she looks for you, it is not just for curiosity, it is for imbalance. The silence that you built around her became an invisible prison. She tries to flee, but everything reminds of you. The musics, the conversations, even the mirror. The void that you left is greater than any presence could be, and she approximates attempting to fill this space, but does not understand that the space was created of purpose.
It is the stage where the power acts. The mystery is the light and the shadow of desire. And then the man realizes what Machiavelli wanted to say when he affirmed that men judge more by the eyes than by the hands, because all can see, but few can touch. In the art of seduction, it is equal. What is seen but not touched becomes dream. What is possessed too much loses the enchantment. For this reason, keep yourself always a step beyond reach. Let that she feels your presence even when you are not there. Let that she sees you, but never completely. This will keep her in search. The woman runs after, not the man who completes her, but the man who challenges her, the man who makes her want to be more, feel more, understand more. When she runs after, she is not just seeking you, she is attempting to reach herself in your presence. You awaken in her the ancestral instinct of conquest, and the female love in the deep is this, a hunt. She needs to feel that the prize is rare, and the rare only reveals itself to who is worthy. But the wisdom is in not losing yourself in the power. When the man begins to use the domination as form of feeding the ego, he destroys himself. The true Machiavellianism is elegant. It is the power disguised of indifference, the dominion that does not need to be proved. The superior man does not humiliate, he inspires, does not feign disinterest, simply has priorities greater, does not play to win, plays to understand. And it is this depth that turns him irresistible. In some moment, she will look at you different, the look of who understands that she lost the control. And in this instant, the game ends. Not because someone won, but because she realized that the power that she sought always was in you. It is there that the respect is born, and the respect is the only type of love that survives time. The man who is respected is always remembered. The one who is just desired is forgotten as soon as another desire appears. Machiavelli taught that all power must be maintained by the appearance of virtue. In attraction, the virtue is the serenity. The calm is the shield of the wise man. The self-control is the armor of the conqueror. When the world tries to provoke him and he remains in peace, the universe entire curves itself. The women feel this. The peace of a man is more seductive than any discourse. It signifies that he is whole, and what is whole attracts everything what is fragmented. For this reason, never run after a woman. Run after your purpose. Run after your strength, of your discipline, of your silence. Become someone that she wants to understand, but never completely possess. Be the man who awakens the instinct of her, but does not feed it with crumbs. Give her space to feel your lack, time to lose herself, and dignity to respect you. This is the victory supreme. Conquer without needing to hunt. Attract without needing to insist. In the final, she always runs after the man who does not need her, because the man who does not need is what represents what she most desires: stability, power, mystery. The man who knows to distance himself is what always is followed. The one who knows to silence himself is what always is remembered. And the one who does not surrender himself by any touch is what awakens the touch most sincere. The art of Machiavelli applied to love is not to manipulate. It is to understand what moves the human heart and use it with wisdom. The true strategist does not destroy, he conducts. And in the field of seduction, the dominion most high is that of serenity. Because the man who can choose the silence in the middle of the chaos already won. The woman runs after him not because she was deceived, but because she was enchanted. And when she finally arrives and looks you in the eyes with that mixture of fear and desire, smile, because you will understand what few men in history comprehended, that the power is not in who conquers, but in who does not need to conquer to be desired.